Hello, my name is Sally Pinto, and I'm the Program Director for the Yonkers Newark Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We are under the auspices of WJCS and the Yonkers Office for the Aging. We also have a resource specialist and a nurse on staff. We conduct virtual programming in partnership with the Yonkers Public Library on a daily basis. Enjoy the program.
Everybody, good to be with everybody this morning. As always, it's always a gift to start off my Wednesdays with you and to keep this as a regular practice in my life, and really doing this every week, once a week with you all has really brought a lot of benefits to my life. I see what it does to my body. I see how it settles my mind and my heart midweek when days can get anxious and challenging and busy, and in a world that's always changing and always throwing us a little off balance maybe, and keeping us on our toes. That's been one of our focus, our balance, our ability to balance. This is a rock and a solid foundation out of which we all act and we all go forth into whatever our worlds look like, whoever we're around, hopefully, and bring a little bit more joy and peace and feel a little bit more comfortable in our bodies, in our hearts, in our minds, in our souls. And that's what we're doing here. So that's great for me. I'm glad you've come to and joined to get a little something out of that as well. We have our typical class today. We'll start off with some warm-ups, get things breathing, get things moving with a focus on the breath. Trying to remember all those cues throughout. I give you a lot of cues throughout. One of the first ones I start off with is always that imagining a little string lifting you up through the crown of your head. You just see me as I even just do that. Everything sort of extends and gets nice and tall. The core gets activated. Really start to use those cues on your own. Feel them, know the difference between when you're sitting with that core engaged and when you're a little slumped over maybe, and starting to notice those things in your own body. I think at the end of the class last week, somebody thanked me for a particular exercise. Own that now, use that in your life, bring it out in your daily life. Whenever you're sitting in a chair, if that little cue works for you, if that little image works for you, use it, channel it, think it, and then it will become just a part of your body. And then all of a sudden you're sitting nice and tall without even thinking about it. That's a healthier back, healthier shoulders. Everything's feeling better when we do that. So digest these tools, these cues, these movements, bring them into your life, bring them into your body, and hopefully they pay a lot of benefits. So we'll start off with our warm-ups, with a focus on the breath. We've got 5 exercises out of our chair. We'll move to 5 exercises standing, a couple rounds on each of those. Still finishing just a little bit of our balance focus, sort of a 3-week mini course on balance, a couple exercises that will tie everything I hope together there. This has been a fun focus for me thinking about balance. So definitely if there's anything you're looking for to get out of this class, a particular kind of thing you want me to dive into more, let us know, throw it in the chat, share it at the end. That helps me learn new things, bring new ideas, bring new concepts, stay fresh. I like my teaching to be sort of a feedback loop with what you're experiencing. So definitely bring your thoughts, your considerations. You could email them to me directly throughout the week, whatever it is. Let's build this class together and make it beautiful. So let's start off sitting towards the front of our chair with that good posture. Our feet are flat on the floor. Really start to know what good posture feels like to you. Sitting nice and tall, shoulders down and back, chest up, lifting nice and tall through the crown of our head, thinking there's a little string just pulling us up nice and tall. And we just start by getting in tune with our breath, doing a little body scan, noticing what's going on in our body, noticing what's going on in our mind, noting what's going on in our heart. And then we'll get into our warm-ups here just by doing a little of that pranayama, the yoga breathing. I love this. I sort of do this every morning and love to share it with you. So what we're going to do is we're just going to interlock our fingers like this, place them gently beneath our chin, and then with a nice steady breathing rhythm in through the nose, out through the mouth, we're going to slowly inhale through our nose, allowing our stomach to expand on the in-breath. Apologies for that. Letting those elbows float up nice and high. And then we got a full stomach full of breath, leaning back, pushing back with the elbows and exhaling out of the mouth. Now, nice circular breathing with that, breathing in through the nose, letting the elbows float up. pushing the neck back, breathing fully out of the mouth. Nice, long, slow breaths with this. Full breath, getting deeper each time. Nice deep inhale with the elbows coming up, pushing the neck back, breathing out of the mouth. Bringing those elbows together before starting that process again. Let's do 2 or 3 on our own. One more here. Excellent. Let those arms fall gently to the side. Find that good posture again, always locking in that good posture in between exercises, but feeling loose and comfortable, getting warm as we go through. Let's move down our body as usual, and we'll just start off with the neck. So we're just going to do some half neck circles. Just come over to the left side, so the left ear is over the left shoulder, and then coming down in front, gently moving over halfway to the other side. Remember, we're sitting tall through all of this. And then this time when we come over to the left, let's hang out over here for a second and just fall deeper into that stretch. Again, we're sitting tall. The stretch is all in the neck, so we're not compromising by shifting our core around. The core is staying tall. Neck stretch is where we're focused. And then to add a little bit more to that, we could just extend our right arm out. Wiggle the fingers while they're out there, turn over the wrist, turn over the whole shoulder. See how that makes the rest of the body feel? How it changes the neck stretch. Notice how your body works. That's all we're doing here. And then we could add a little last stretch by pulling our neck away from our arm. So not down, but gently pulling it away. And you could keep wiggling those fingers and the wrists. And then let's let the arms fall to the side and coming down across over to the right side with our neck. Let's hang out here for a few seconds. Again, core is engaged, posture is strong. My feet are relaxed on the floor. And then let's extend this left arm out. Again, feel what it feels like to wiggle the fingers, move the wrist around, turn the shoulder over while keeping that neck stretch. And then one final step, pulling that neck away from the shoulder. Good, and let those arms fall gently to the side, returning back to center, starting to pick up a little bit of the intensity here. Let's do some cabinet reaches. Imagine we're in our kitchen and just reaching up high, grabbing a can off the top shelf. Maybe it's up to the right, maybe it's up to the left. Just moving about our kitchen, grabbing some cans. Really imagine that there gets a can in your hand. You got to sort of pull it back. Just get a full range of motion on this, reaching up and over. Maybe it's books. Maybe we're in the library together. Maybe that's a better image here. We're taking books off the top shelf, reaching up for those big heavy books, maybe reaching across if we need to, grabbing things off the top shelf. See how it feels. Maybe they're more up to your left, more up to your right. Just getting moving, increasing the range of motion as we go. But we always got that good posture. We're always breathing deeply. We have big smiles on our faces. That's letting our body know we're happy to be here, ready to go. Oh, if only people borrowed this many books, we would be in a much more literate world. Couple more on this. Maybe there's a book out to the side you need to reach. And pause on that. Good. Getting the upper body warm, moving down, starting to get the core going. We're going to be sitting towards the front of our chair. We're just going to give ourselves a hug, and we're going to turn to where the top arm is pointing. So my right arm is on top, so I'm turning to the left. And we're just going to breathe deeply and sit tall as we go. I'll make eye contact with the camera, but you're looking over your left shoulder. As you inhale, reassert that posture. Make sure the posture feels good. The feet are on the floor. As you exhale, so we're breathing through this, go a little bit deeper into the turn. This basic simple movement can relieve a lot of anxiety. Some of our anxiety is very bodily, and our bodies fear something behind us. That's where attacks can come from. That's where unknown things come from. And so when we look around our back and just glance over our shoulder and see we're safe, it tells our body we're safe. So let's know we're in a safe space, a good place to do these movements, to get to know our body a little more. And that's what this stretch is doing for us. And go a little bit deeper into that turn. And then return to center here. Let the arm shake out a little bit. Coming up with the left arm on top, giving ourselves a gentle, loving hug here. And we're coming over to the right side. Same thing on an inhale. Let's get nice and tall, sitting tall, postures engaged, feet on the floor, body's feeling relaxed. On the exhale, we go deeper into that stretch. Let's return back to the front. Let those arms fall to the side. And just to get us last little bit of a warm up here, get the blood flowing. We're just going to do our toe taps. So picking 3 points on the floor, left, center, right. We'll just start off with our left foot, tapping out as far as we could go across the body. Wherever's feeling good for range of motion right now, but our core is still engaged. Deep breaths throughout, big smiles. Let's switch over to the right leg here. Couple more rounds here. One more time through. Good. Returning to center. Let's find that good posture again. Get comfortable, get ready, get engaged, because we're going to move into our first set of seated exercises. 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. We're going to do some double overhead swimmers. So just reaching around, going for a swim. Push the water out to the side. Whatever feels good. That's going to be our first move. Getting just a nice flowing swim here. Push it out to the side. Whatever feels good. You want to go into one arm, this way and that way. We'll work on a couple different swim moves here, getting nice and flowy, getting the shoulders all nice and happy. That's our first exercise. Next exercise is going to be leg extension with an overhead reach. So good extension in our quad muscle, and then reaching up overhead with the opposite hand. Sitting nice and tall still. That's our second exercise. Third is going to be a slight bent over row. So we'll bend over and we'll row back, pinching our shoulders back. If you want to sit up, if that starts to feel uncomfortable on the low back, you could do it perfectly horizontal. But if it feels good and you could keep that chest out and supported, then we'll do the row from here. And again, if you have some light hand weights or anything like that, that's a great exercise to use some hand weights on. If you got them, it'll work either way. Fourth movement is going to be our calf raise. We're still thinking about balance. We've been giving our calves a lot of work. That's going to help our balance, help our sense of confidence as we're walking about. And so we're going to push up with our calves and we're going to resist with our arms and get those calf muscles nice and happy, feeling pumped up, really squeezing in the calf muscle. Fifth movement will be punches. Punching nice and strong for 40 seconds, staying nice and tall, getting some of that aggression out maybe. So those are our 5 moves, pretty simple. Let's start in on swimmers here. And yeah, let's jump in and we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Start off with these. If you know any other sort of swim moves, we could work those in as well. This is a good starting place. But we could push out and do that double. I'm not a particularly good swimmer. I don't know what this particular kind of move is, but something like this as well might feel good. Just imagine you're in that water, getting loose, swimming about, splashing about. You're in your own private space, so have some fun with it. You want to just sort of doggy paddle around for a few minutes. Anything that feels good, that feels like we're swimming. Just imagine that water around our body. It's soothing, it's invigorating, it's energizing. It's giving us just a little bit of resistance. And we'll work hard on this for 3, 2, 1. Good. Swim move there. Imagine you're swimming. That's what we're going for. Little break here. Gather our rest, gather our breath, get ready for the next round, which is going to be leg extension with an overhead reach with the opposite arm. We're sitting towards the front of our chair. Good posture on this, not slumping as we go up for that leg extension and overhead reach. Let's start that in 3, 2, 1. Good squeeze in the quad muscle here. Good reach overhead. Good posture throughout. Let's work hard for 3, 2, 1. Great. Actively rest now. Gather the breath. Relax the body. Get ready for the next round, which is going to be bent over rows. If we're feeling good about bending over slightly, we're not slumped. That's not the idea. My chest is still out. Still got good eye contact with what's in front of me. This is a good place to do a row from. If you want to just be sitting upright, that's fine. This movement is big on the mind muscle connection, really squeezing those back muscles. One little cue. Imagine there's just a pencil between the middle of your back. And as you row back, you're trying to squeeze that pencil and hold it in between those back muscles. That's a good cue for us. Let's jump into that in 3, 2, 1. Good squeeze at the back. Great workout there, everybody. Keeping that good posture locked in. Good squeeze with the back muscles, using our mind to tell our muscles to flex. You get a full workout just doing that. So let's squeeze hard for 3, 2, 1. Great work there, everybody. Little rest now, always gathering ourselves in the rest periods. The rest is an active part of the workout, teaching our bodies to relax and get ready for the next round of intensity, which is going to be our calf raises, one of our favorite movements recently. We're going to push hard up onto our toes, flexing the calf muscles. That's these muscles down here on the underside of the shins. And we'll be pushing and resisting with our shoulders, with our arms to give these muscles a little bit more work. Let's jump into that in 3, 2, 1. Imagining we're ballet dancers coming up nice and high onto our toes, pointing those toes down, flexing the calf muscles to do it. Let's work hard for 3, 2, 1. Good. A little bit of rest. And we're getting into punches. We're sitting nice and tall. Movement's coming from our arms, staying sort of relaxed and fluid through the movement. We're not grinding the punch out. Nice bouncy punches right out in front, bringing them back and forth. Get the heart rate going. That's the focus here. And we'll start into that in 3, 2, 1. Start to be really feeling the burn now. Stick with it. That's what we're looking for on this movement. Shoulders feeling involved, forearms, wrist, biceps, triceps, everything feeling warmed up, blood's flowing, pushing hard here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. That's our first round of seated exercises. We repeat that coming up. When we repeat, we go a little deeper. We add a little more intensity. We squeeze the muscles a little harder. We throw the punches a little faster as our body invites us, as we're feeling comfortable. So now that we know the movements, we got our swimmers. Could do different versions, could do single arm versions, whatever feels good. Just imagine yourself in a pool of water. You could do a doggy paddle if you want to for a little bit, whatever feels good to you. I don't know that many other swim moves. So if you're a swimmer, throw in whatever you'd like there. Next up is leg extension, overhead reach. Then we got our rows, either bent over or perfectly horizontal, whatever feels right for us this morning. Calf raises and punches. Okay, those are our 5 movements. Good reminder to grab a little sip of water between exercises. And why don't we jump into it? We'll get our swimmers going in 3, 2, 1. You can mix it up and then come into the overhead swim, the single arm sort of move here. Just getting loose and fluid with it, feeling the water soothing our body, giving us just a little bit of resistance. So all the muscles are turning on, all the little shoulder muscles, forearm muscles, wrist, all of that, getting happy, getting warmed up, blood's flowing around our body, things are feeling good. Let's work hard for 3, 2, 1. Great. A little bit of rest, gather ourselves, return to center, be ready for the next round of intensity, which are our leg extensions with the overhead reach. Let's make sure we're starting on different sides than we normally start. If you're always starting off with your right hand, try to just start off with the left hand. It may almost be a little difficult. That keeps our body ready to go, keeps our body guessing, keeps our body learning new ways of being. So let's start into that in 3, 2, 1. Nice tall posture on this. We're not leaning back. We're sitting nice and tall as we are, getting the nice leg extension in the quad, reaching up overhead. Let's work hard for 3, 2, 1. Good, a little bit of a break coming forward into our rows. Still got that good posture, leaning over with our chest up, our eyes looking forward. If we could get into that position, feel comfortable, that's where we'll row from. If not the horizontal version, that works just as well. But bring your mind to those back muscles, making them squeeze nice and hard and flex nice and hard. That's how we get a good workout here. Let's jump into that in 3, 2, 1. Nice squeeze. Imagining there's a little pencil in between in the center of our back, squeezing those muscles to hold it in, getting a nice pinch for a second, releasing and coming back forward, squeezing again. 3, 2, 1. We'll pause. Good work. 2 more movements on this first set. We got calf raises and then we got punches before we move to standing. So let's jump into those calf raises in 3, 2, 1. You know this move inside and out by now. Hopefully you know how to give yourself a good workout. Let's push ourselves on these calf raises. Pause in 3, 2, 1. Good. A little bit of a break. One more movement, our punches, and we're moving to standing. Take a deep breath, gather yourself. 40 seconds of full steady work here. Might not feel intense at first, but slowly the burn starts to build around the whole upper body. That's what we're looking for on these punches, a nice steady burn, making everything feel good. Let's jump into that. Let's try to throw a punch with our other hand first. I always start with my right. Let's try to start with our left. Let's start into that in 3, 2, 1. Core's engaged, everything's feeling strong. Punches are coming fast and smooth. Working hard for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work on our 2 seated exercises here. Let's get up out of our chair. I'm going to adjust my camera and then we're ready for our standing exercises. Good work, everybody. As you know, we've got our chair here for support. Generally on most of the exercises, our first exercise we'll be using the front of the chair. We're going to do a squat to stand, working on that squat pattern. Very basic, trying to teach ourselves to get into our chair with confidence and poise, trying to use our hands as little as possible, using those strong leg muscles. If you need a little boost, this is the sort of step 1 version. Step 2 is trying to keep our arms out in front of us as we do that. And if we're feeling really strong, this is a variation we've done before a couple weeks ago. Squat up onto a calf raise. So coming up out of our chair, squat into a calf raise. Takes a little bit of balance, a little bit of control. That'll be great for us right here. Even slightly harder version, coming up into our rock the boat move from last week. Lots of different options here. Pick the one that feels best for you. I'll talk you through some of the variations as we go, but that's that rock the boat where we come up onto our calf muscle on one side a little bit. So 4 different sort of levels. Start off with the most simple, challenge yourself as we go. Next movement, and the chair could be kept in front of you. Alternating overhead press. Nice and simple, punching up overhead. That's what we're looking for here. If we want to add a little bit more leg work and want to do it out of a crouch, always just gets the quads involved. Always a good way to make any movement more challenging. That's our second exercise. Third, we're going to be our Supermans. So we're going to have our left hand on the chair. Right leg's going to kick back. We're going to inhale our arm up overhead. And we're going to go for a fly with Superman, reaching out, trying to hold that position for 40 seconds, and we'll work both sides. Fourth movement is going to be our rock the boat movement. So you'll have the chair in front of you. We're going to start off by just rocking the boat, coming up more and more onto our calf muscles, pressing with our calves. As we get strong and confident, we could come up onto one foot and let that other one kick out a little bit to work our balance. So make it as difficult as it needs to be for you. The chair's in front of you. If it's just rocking back and forth, side to side to start, that's fine. Fifth and last movement, we're going to go for a little bit of a walk here. So if you feel confident and want to step away from the chair and feel safe in your space, you could certainly do that. But if you need the chair, we're going to do something called a braiding walk. So again, the chair will be in front of you if you need it for support. What we're going to do is a braiding walk. So we're just going to step one foot in front of the other, behind. So just braiding our legs, coming in front, coming in back, holding on to that chair if we need it. So if the chair were in front of me, be right there. If you could go for a little bit of a longer walk and have some space and feel confident, that's great for me. But if you need the chair, you know where it is. So those are our 2 sets. I'll keep talking through what the movements mean. I think you know the basic outline here. Our first one is going to be squat to stand. So we wanted to start off by, if we need a little boost with our hands, that's okay. If we could pull our hands away and keep them out front, even better. And then we have the more challenging versions, which I'll put out to you as we go. But let's jump right into it. We'll feel it out as we go. Nice squat to stand movement here, starting in 3, 2, 1. So just starting off with the basic version, groove in the squat movement. Feeling more confident in our squat as we go. But if we're feeling really good, we could come up, squat into a calf raise. Takes a little bit of control. And if you're just doing the squat to stand, the calf raise doesn't feel good, that's fine with me. But if you're feeling really confident, you want to come up into a calf raise on one foot. That's a challenging movement. Don't do it if you're not ready for it, but it is possible. That's a fun little exercise here. Couple more reps, and we'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Let's finish on the stand here since we're moving to the stand. So you could be behind the chair, that's fine. I just moved my chair so you could see me. Next up is going to be alternating overhead press. We could do it out of a little bit of a squat if we want to add the quads in here, but if you're feeling like your quads got a good workout, you could just do it fully standing. That's fine with me. Let's jump into that in 3, 2, 1. Working hard here, everybody, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent alternating overhead press. Next up is going to be our Superman movement. So I think I misspoke a little last time. I think the better version of this is to use opposite hand with opposite leg. So if our left hand is on the chair for support, it's going to be our left leg kicking back. We're going to inhale our right hand up overhead, nice and strong. And then we lean forward in the Superman. Yeah, I messed it up a little last time. That's the better way to do it. A little bit of a brain fog this morning, but we're going to get through it together. So left hand on the chair, left leg's going to kick back. Let's inhale that right arm up overhead. And we're going to lean forward, getting to whatever position we can get that we can hold for the 40 seconds. So let's start into it right together. 3, 2, 1. And we're trying to hold for 40. So if you want to just be up here, if that's all you could get to, if that's challenging enough for you, that's where you are. If we could get forward more and more, even to parallel, that's what we're looking for. Sort of a dancer's pose here. I call it Superman, a little bit yoga inspired, but we're staying stronger. We're staying nice and strong for 40. I've been talking so much, we're already at least halfway through. Holding strong for 10 here. And we'll pause in 3, 2, 1. That's a good balance move as well, but working the whole body, working our isometric strength, our ability to hold our body in a strong, steady position and stay nice and confident. Next up is going to be rock the boat. So again, chair could be in front of you. I'll just show you how it looks without it so you can see what I'm doing. We're just going to start off feeling like we're on a boat rocking, get more and more into that movement as we feel strong, whatever is the most challenging version we can do confidently. So you got your chair in front of you. Let's jump into that in 3, 2, 1. So just start to feel the rock of the boat. Maybe you're just lifting your heels up off the ground to start, coming up more and more onto one of the toes. And then maybe as you feel confident, you're lifting off. Picking that other foot up off the ground, extending as far as we can up onto that calf muscle. Now we're doing a single leg calf raise. Normally we do double leg calf raises, but now we're teaching our body to come up onto the one. That's going to make us even stronger, even more ready to balance out in the real world. But again, you're going as far as you feel comfortable, you feel confident, and you've got that chair right in front of you. Let's work hard for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work out there. Last move is going to be the braiding walk. So again, you got your chair if you need it, but if you got more space and you feel confident, go for a little bit longer of a walk. Just make sure you're back here in about 20, 30 seconds. So we're stepping one foot in front, coming around. That foot goes behind. We're catching the other leg up, coming back, in front, behind, in front. That's the pattern. Braiding walk, a little bit of balance work here. Let's jump into that in 3, 2, 1. Well, again, I'll move this. So you got a chair in front of you if you need it, and reverse directions wherever you can. But I'm doing a little braiding walk across this space, coming back the other way. Reaching farther as we feel more confident. So you could reach fully out in front and really start to train that balance. But again, if you want to stay close to that chair, you know your limits, you know what you could do. Let's return to center here. We'll pause there. One more round on these movements before our meditation. We're starting off with our squat to stand. You know the different variations. Challenge yourself as best you can while still feeling comfortable and confident. So we'll start off right into that so we can get to our meditation in 3, 2, 1. Coming down into our chair, standing up. If that's the basic movement you feel for right now, that's fine. But if you can come up, pop up onto the calves a little bit. We've given our calves, our ankles, our lower body a lot of love today. We're going to feel very balanced next week. Again, if you want to turn this into a little bit of a rock the boat as well. That's a very challenging move. Couple reps on this is probably all you need. So we'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Good, let's finish standing. Next up is going to be our alternating overhead press. Doing it out of the nice horse stance here, the sort of quarter squat. Punching up overhead if it feels good, but we could also just be standing straight up. Let's do that in 3, 2, 1. Working hard for 3, 2, 1. Excellent there. We're behind our chair for support now. Our right arm's going to be supporting ourselves on the chair, which means our right leg is going back. Left arm coming up overhead, leaning forward into the most challenging position we could find for the 40. Let's do that in 3, 2, 1. Finding a good, strong position that you could hold for the full 40. Hold them hard for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent work there. 2 more movements. We got to rock the boat. We're going to jump right into this so we could get to meditation. And rock the boat in 3, 2, 1. Let's pause there, just trimming these last 2 exercises a little bit so we can get to our meditation. Let's do our braiding walk for a little bit. I want to finish on this. This really ties a lot of the skills together, all the balance strengthening work we've been doing. So let's go for our braiding walk in 3, 2, 1. Again, you got the chair if you need it there for support. Your chair could be right in front of you and your walk could be short. But if you feel strong and got some space and could do it without that, that's perfectly fine for me. And let's finish here on a pause. Great work there, everybody. Returning back to our chair, getting ready for a little meditation. Again, often these meditations are sort of a little sampling of what might be a longer practice. I get into the movements sometimes, and we only have a few minutes at the end. I do apologize for that. But these are always samples of something you could try more on your own, try consistently, do it for 15 minutes or so. And the version we're going to do is our review meditation. So many versions of this up and down throughout history. We look back in time in order to look forward. A very basic practice, seeing what brought us here, how did I get here, what led to how I'm feeling, how I'm being right now, and then how do I want to proceed forth from this spot. Taking a pause to gather ourselves in order to look forward. So I'll walk you through the structure that I use. It's highs, lows, and hopes, which is we look back, what were the highs, what were the lows, and then we look forward with hope and expectation and intentionality. So let's start by just finding a good meditative posture. Your feet can be flat on the floor, but if you like to cross your legs and have sort of a meditative posture, you're certainly welcome to do that. And we start by taking a deep breath in through our nose. Allow the stomach to expand on the in-breath. And breathe out fully out of your mouth. Breathe in deeply through your nose. Allow your stomach to expand on the in-breath. Hold the breath for a moment. And then calmly exhale out of your mouth. And then we look back at our day yesterday or any period of time before that. We could look at a week, a month, a year. It's an adaptable structure, but let's focus on our previous day to understand the practice. And we just let whatever comes to mind. What were the highs of yesterday? Where did you feel most deeply, most fully, most truly yourself? And what brought you there? What led to that moment? It could be a simple thing, a quiet morning, a cup of coffee, a smile from a stranger, or it could be something bigger. But we just sit with those highs and we savor them for a few moments, letting come to mind whatever comes to mind. And then we turn with gentleness and compassion towards the lows of the day. Where do we feel distant from ourselves? Distant from who we want to be? Distant from how we imagine the best version of ourselves? But we don't judge it or challenge it or look harshly upon it. We look at it with love and compassion and know that we're human and we do fall away from our best qualities, the best version of ourselves. We just notice what led to it, what brought us away from that place of peace and stability, so we could learn how we work, learn how we are, learn how our hearts work. So sit with those moments with compassion and kindness for a few minutes on your own. Any lows from the day yesterday? And then taking those insights, those feelings, those reflections, we look forward with hope. How do we hope to be tomorrow in light of everything we've experienced? Then we set some intentions, set some hopes, set some plans, but we know whatever comes to pass, whether they come true, whether we get surprised by what happens, we'll be able to look with mercy and generosity and love at our day. So set some hopes for tomorrow. Look forward. How do you imagine your life being tomorrow? And then when you're ready, you could gently open your eyes and begin to return to full awareness in your room. You can stretch out a little bit, wiggle your fingers, your toes. And maybe after the class is over, you sit with these insights some more, let them develop, let them blossom. It's a chance to look at where you came from and where you're going. That's a good practice. I noticed that today for me, yesterday was a very anxious day, a lot of sort of difficult day for me. And I know I brought some of that in. If my speech and my rhythms were slightly off, that's what I was looking at in my brief meditation there. I know I'm sort of thrown off. There's a bit of anxiety in me. If my mind is like a pond, it's very cloudy and all stirred up right now. And so I know I need to take a little bit more time. I don't know why exactly I'm feeling this way. I know there were some difficulties yesterday, but why I'm still stirred up this morning, why I'm carrying that with me, I don't quite know. But I look with generosity and compassion. I know that's just where I am this morning. I know I'll take some time later for deeper quiet, deeper rest, let the pond of my mind settle, let all the muck that stirred up settle down to the bottom. And then that water will be clear and I could see what's going on in the water. I can see whatever's clogging it up, whatever's making it murky. And that's how I look at my consciousness. And hopefully I'll be able to let it settle as we go. But I know being with you is one of the great sources of comfort and relaxation for me. Teaches me to be a better version of myself, helps me to be a better version of myself. And I hope you got something out of this class today as well. And thank you for sharing this space, this safe space, this comfortable space.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from Newark. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.